All right, here is our Aisin water pump timing belt kit replacement TKF 006 contents. Water pump timing belt, TBK instruction card, hydraulic tensioner, idle bearing, 3 of them. So it looks like we got some good instructions here. There's the belt. All right, we'll get to wrenching. You know, I did decide just for insurance, I'm gonna turn this over by hand a couple times just to make sure nothing feels funny. So I'm gonna find my 7/8, and you know, just make sure it feels like it's got compression. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of feel it. I mean, I'm not obviously not turning it fast. I don't have oil in it, but I can feel it get tighter and looser. So I don't hear any funny noises. You know, like I don't do this every day, so I just want to not skip anything and make sure everything seems cool during the whole process. So I'll get that bolt off of there and start getting pulleys put on. Okay, scratch that. Not taking the bolt out yet. We're gonna get our timing on the crank lined up. This mark right here up to TDC. Hold on. Oh, I see. No, I don't see. Okay, there's a mark right up here on the case. Very hard to see. And then my bolt. But that looks right to me. And then we'll go on to the cam pulleys. Okay, cam pulley on the passenger side. You see that pin? There's only one way it can go on there. It lines up with that notch that is on the bottom of the cam. So we'll put it on that way. Bolts are on. I think I'll have to look at my socket. I'm kind of low on metric size half-inch drive, so I think I'm using 11/16. And I can't get it super tight until we get the timing belt on. But we've got an arrow right here, so right now it's pointing down. And we need it to point straight up to a notch. Where's this notch at? I don't know. Okay. The arrow is not what you're looking at. You're looking at this line right here. So my bad. And it lines up with basically the cam cap, not the valve cover, cam cap, which is a pretty narrow line, and you're dealing with valves opening and closing, so you know, went way past. So I think what I'll have to do is get it close, and then well, that actually, but I don't know. Well, the bolts, it's turning the. So let me get. So yeah, that's straight up and down. So that's the passenger side. And there is, you know, if you happen to not know which pulley goes on which side, there is an R on there right here. So right hand side if you're sitting in the driver's seat, that's the passenger side. Okay, get ready to do this driver's side, but this is my old head gasket, you know, and I just assumed it was one of the original head gaskets, but it's actually a multi-layer, so it's not an original head gasket. Don't know what brand it is. Like I said, I did take my old heads to a machine shop and they said my heads were cracked. So it's possible that the head gaskets really weren't bad at all. I just needed different heads. But of course you put new head gaskets on anyway. But on this driver's side, you gotta put this back cover on first, which I was kind of looking in my gasket kit where I did find the, you know, the new original. These are non-turbo. It's a single layer, graphite coated. Don't recommend you use them. I didn't. I put on multi-layer turbo ones. So this is not in great condition. And I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna have to go reference my pictures and see how this thing is supposed to go on there. Yeah, I think it goes like that. But what am I missing? I'll figure it out. Okay, my oil dipstick up here was just in the way. It was kind of sitting out like this, and it needs to go back. I'll bolt that on later. This does have these metal grommets. One of mine fell out because the plastic is broke, so you know, hopefully this thing isn't urgently important. Because like I said, mine is not. I want to start that one first. Mine is not in very good condition. This looks like a 10. Let's see, where's my 1/4-inch drive? It's right there. I don't want to over tighten these because it seems pretty fragile. Yeah, did you hear that crack? This one over here especially, man, that's kind of ugly. I'm gonna back that off and tighten it again just to make sure I'm not missing something. Okay. You know what? It looks like there's a lip back there. It's supposed to go behind. I didn't do that. And that's probably part of my problem. Yeah, over here on this side, it's like a lip, and I did not get it behind that. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. A little bit more. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that feels better. I like that. While I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and Get that dipstick bolted on. Okay, so driver's side pulley, you know, it's got the same pin right there that aligns with this notch. So that's the way it goes on. And then you've got, I believe, this red mark right here that will go straight up to, I think, this mark on the case, on the shield. So let's see, the pin is right there. Let's see what I do with my socket wrench. Let's look at our paper and make sure. Yeah, I mean, there's just a little mark on there. Mine's painted red, so it just makes it a little easier to see, but there's a little mark, or a little indentation on the pulley. And it's gonna line up right here. It's probably gonna go past again, because you're right on the tip of the valves. But that seems right. One kind of interesting thing, so this is one of my old pulleys, and here's the new one. They're both made in Japan, have the same names, markings on them, but this one, the bearing is like way thinner than on this one. It's way thicker. I mean, the first way I noticed was just how much further out this part sticks that goes that way than this one. It's just like it's a beefier bearing, so that is cool. All right, so this one is a 14 milliliter, and I realize I haven't taken my water pump off yet. I'm getting there. I just like to kind of do one thing at a time, so I know I don't have any problem with where everything goes. And the instructions have torque specs on here. This one is 26 to 32 foot-pounds. So I'm just gonna feel it out. No, it's not torque spec, it's just good and tight. 14 millimeter. It's good and tight. I'm not sure if I'm missing something. This one I haven't taken off yet, it's the old one. I've got the new one sitting down there. I don't see a new one of these. I mean, this one, I don't know. This one doesn't sound very good, but I don't have a new one of those, so we are going without it pretty much. Oh, it's the wrong direction. Well, if it came with a new bolt, I lost it. That's nice. Some of my timing belt cover. All right, there is 30 foot-pounds. All right, I'm gonna take this hose fitting off first because we gotta put it on the new water pump and get our thermostat out of there. Let's see if I can not lose the bolts this time. 1, 2. So there's the hose fitting, and there's our thermostat, which we got a new thermostat. Uh-oh. Maybe we should have waited to put that on, because now I gotta use a wrench. On second thought, I do. Don't drop it. Come on out of there. Don't make me beg. Right. There's our water pump, and there's our gasket, of which we will put our new one. We'll clean off that surface and get my bolts out of there. Come on. Okay, yeah, that pulley that I had to take off, I mean, it does screw into the water pump, so you definitely need to wait to put that on. I've got the, it's got this weird gasket on the side of the housing. Let me turn around so the light's a little better. That wasn't even on my old one, unless I just lost it, but I don't remember ever seeing it, so it wasn't there. But I got a new one now. And then I've got the main water pump gasket started with 3 bolts. We'll get those started and then get the rest of the bolts going. Okay, I got 1 bolt barely started up here. So these other 2 started.
Yeah, it is hard to tell. Let's see if we better lock this one down. Looks all good. Okay. Alright, there we go. Now we're cooking. Alright, I think all these are started. Oh, those 3 are, and we've got 3 more to go.
I did clean off the old surface on the block with plastic razor and brake clean. And next we'll put on the thermostat and then reinstall this pulley right here, and then get on to timing belt.
These are snug, so now we'll get them, make sure they're all snug, and then we'll tighten them down. Have no idea what the torque specs are? Don't care. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6. This one didn't feel very good. That's good. I'm gonna back that out and go back on. Maybe I should have paid attention to the torque specs. Is that one, maybe it was already stripped, I don't know. Alright, pulley back on. And tensioner. Yes, you're supposed to bleed these things. No, I did not do that.
Then they tighten that up after the belt's on. Well, I guess it pivots on anyway, so that's cool.
All right, now belt. All right, you guys can watch me fumble with this. We've got 3 yellow marks. Thought we had 3. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3. So we've got the cams and the crank. So start right here with the crank. That's definitely going to be wrong because that tensioner, oh no, that's right, it's going to go down, so we lift that up. And then this one should line up right there. Come back and change that in a second. It's going to go down. Alright, that doesn't seem quite right. Let's get that one back where it's supposed to be. So how come that one didn't line up? Tell me that. Okay, I'm guessing I had it on like this, and you see the writing is upside down. So I'm gonna try it this way with the writing up, but I just, okay, so I kind of started up here and I've got it going, and I'm just keeping it as taut as I can. Okay, so went and looked at YouTube myself, and yeah, we'll take this one, if not all the way off, we'll at least loosen it. I'm just gonna, let's see, let's try it there and see what happens. So we got our marks lined up here. That one, probably need to take it off too. Let's just take that all the way off, go from there. We might need to take this off too. But we're gonna try it without it. Nah. Really need to take both of those off. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I can feel the, okay, that feels pretty good. Just want to make sure you don't get it cross-threaded, and yeah, it feels great. here. Let's see, same thing. But we'll see what we can do. Not too bad, not too bad. And then I'm gonna look at the instructions, but I think before I pull the pin on the tensioner, I'm gonna turn it over a couple times, 2 revolutions, and then we'll pull the pin and call it set. Okay, it said to pull the pin and then rotate twice. So I'm checking here, we're all lined up. Checking here, we're all lined up. Checking here, we're all lined up. Pulling the pin. The push rod has extended, so at this point, if you have to take that off, you got to use a press to push it back. So we're gonna turn this over. Top dead center, top dead center, top dead center. Top dead center, top dead center, top dead center. I just want to see it with the timing belt. Maybe that doesn't happen. I think it does. I don't know. There's my marks. Maybe it doesn't matter on the. I'll look at the instructions again. Using the socket tool, turn the crankshaft 2 turns clockwise and check the timing marks are aligned. So the timing marks are aligned. It's just the belt's not. So I guess that's just how it is. All right, so I did double check with Mr. Subaru 1387, who is a heck of a lot better at doing this than I am. And yeah, you just turn the crank 2 full revolutions and check your timing marks, but not necessarily the belt. It doesn't. I'm sure at some point it would line back up, but not after 2 revolutions. So I was wrong. We didn't get Chinese food tonight. It was Chick-fil-A. So I'm calling it quits, hang out with the fam, and then tomorrow we've got intake installation, cover for the timing belt. We need to put the accessory belt pulley on here and start plugging stuff in, sensor connections, hoses. And then we'll drop the engine in the car, bolt it back up to the transmission, plug in more sensors and hoses, and hopefully get it running tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day, and you know, couldn't sleep because I was worried about, first of all, I found this idler in the box, the new box. So that's the old one. I haven't put the new one on because I couldn't find it. My bad. So that bothered me because I did find it last night right before I went in. So I want to put that new one on there. And there's a bolt in the water pump. You probably noticed when I was putting it on, this one right back behind the toothed idler, that, you know, I think it was stripped before I had anything to do with it. I don't think I stripped it, but it is stripped. So I'm going to do kind of a quick fix on that. Teflon tape and red Loctite, just so it's more secure, you know. So I'm gonna end up taking the timing belt off. You know, I kind of messed with this a tiny bit, the tensioner, and pulled it up and stuck the pin in. I need to kind of get it in there a little bit better. but it looks doable. So I'm gonna just take that off and redo the timing belt. I'm not gonna film all that because I want to listen to tunes again, and you kind of already saw me fumble with that once, and that's probably enough. All right, we got the timing belt cover on. Just, I don't know, a ton of little 10mm bolts. So next step is the intake manifold.